Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Bricks Blazing Takes. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with me. I appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Yo, I'm back. Just had to get that out of my system. SimWorld, what's up? What's happening? You know what time it is. It's Blazing Takes. It's Blazing Takes. You got me. Number one show at a new time. Welcome. The new season is upon us, and I'm so thrilled. I'm so elated. I'm so joyful. And whatever adjective or adverb or whatever conjunction you want to put in after that, I'm all those things, and I'm feeling sexy too. All right, let's jump right into it. I want to talk about a few things, so let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Courtesy of my man Carl Thomas. Yeah, young cats don't know nothing about that, man. Ask your mamas, ask your aunties about that. They know what I'm talking about. Anyway, all right, let's talk about it. We are days away from opening season. We are days away from opening night. It's exciting times here for season 2 here at SimWorld Prep. And I'm going to go on record right now, and I'm going to give you my top 5 teams coming into the season. I'm going to give it to you in order. Now, this is my top 5 teams coming into the season, okay? And not only am I going to give you the top 5 teams, I believe I'm also going to give you the team's X factor. Not the guy everybody knows about, not the number 1, or maybe not even the number 2 option, but the guy, or maybe it is the number 1 and number 2 option, but it is the guy that can take this team from just making the race to 1 to have this team possibly winning, having a chance of winning the race to 1. Here's my top 5. Here we go. At number 5. Number 5 was a very, very, very difficult one. I was torn between the two teams. But there's a theme that I'm going with here. You would notice the theme if you're paying attention between all 5 teams. But number 5, it was a toss-up between the Texas teams, but I decided to go with H-Town. And mostly because, I'll be honest with you, both the coaches are going into new situations, but I gave the H-Town the edge because of Tim Bellardi's credentials. I just keep it a buck. He's shown that he can win in this league. We're not sure yet with Coach Woods and what he has going on. So although I'm not sure how everything's going to pan out, I gave H-Town the edge so far because of Tim Bellardi and because the team looks good. I've been checking out some scrimmages. They look good. I think they have an identity. These 5 teams I'm going to mention are teams I have the least amount of concerns about for one reason or another. Maybe their team is kind of stayed intact from last season, or maybe they have a coach that's returning or a very established coach. Maybe it's a combination of both of them, and maybe the talent is just that great. But number 5, I got H-Town, mainly because of Coach Bellardi, and also because I think this team has already identified their identity, and I think they're already there already. Now, the X Factor. The X Factor is going to be key. I'm going to have a combination of X Factor. Anthony Johnson and Johnny Hero. One ingredient that this team has missed over the years, and this year not included. I mean, not excluded, is shooting, a spot-up shooter. That's why losing Cam Jones was such a big deal. But I think they attempted to try to make up for that as best they can with Anthony Johnson and Johnny Hero. When you think about guys like Keithan Carter and guys like Vince Magic, who's still on the team, they both shot less than 40% from the 3 last season. So they needed shooting bad, and I think Anthony Johnson and Johnny Hero, if they can be on with their outside jumper, this team can be scary. All right, at number 4, Rocky Mountain Monsters, led by Coach Robinson. Look, they retained most of their guys. The guys that did a lot of winning 20-plus games a year ago, they're coming back. A lot of them. And I think overall they've become a really good team. They lost a few players, but they gained some. So I think the X Factor is a really big fella I've mentioned before, Xavier Mann. And he's the X Factor for that team because, one, he brings them. They are for all intents and purposes, a finesse type team. But Xavier Mann is that guy that brings the toughness to that team. He brings grit to that team, and he does all the intangible things. He can rebound, he can score, he can intimidate on defense, he can be a defensive presence. He does all the dirty work, and you need somebody who does somebody who's gonna get gritty and dirty and get dirt underneath their nails, and just they look like they've been working on a F-150 underneath a 1990 F-150 underneath the hood all day. That kind of dirt. Xavier Mann brings his lunch pail with him. He can do that kind of dirt. So he is the X factor for me for Rocky Mountain Monsters. If Xavier Mann can continue to do those things, provide for that team, this team can go far. At number 3, Philadelphia. Yeah, Philadelphia with Coach Drees. Listen, they are a defensive-minded team. They come in with a defensive mindset. So the X factor to me is very simple. It starts with the first guy who has a chance to impact the floor defensively, and that's at the guard position. So Orlin Mock, to me, is their X factor. He's going to set the tone at the guard position, which is going to allow everyone else to follow in line to what we're going to do. If Orlin Mock is doing his job, pressing the defenders, giving them a hard time, he's the guy that can be the little bitty brother that start the fight and then pass them along to the big brothers, the bigs, and let them finish the fight. He can be that guy. You know the one the guy at the school that no one really stands, and he always say slick stuff all the time. But everybody know his big brother, and his big brother is crazy. Like, his big brother, like, really, like, there's something really wrong with his big brother, but no one wants to say anything because his big brother likes to fight. Yeah, Orlin Mock can be that. He can be the little brother, and then he just passes along to the big brothers, which is the bigs that's behind him, and Owens and those guys, and then they'll finish the fight for him. So I think this team can really, really do great things. And if Orlin Mock can be the X factor for them defensively and set the tone for them defensively night in, night out, watch out. At number 2, I got to go with the Originators. Really, they would be number 1. They really would be number 1, but I have my reasons. So I got them at number 2. We all know about Cooper Flagg, of course. We all know about Big Vic. We all know, but their X factor, to me, is Justin McGavin. And they're going to need him as the X factor for 2 things, for facilitating. One, everyone keep talking about Jay Lassiter doing ball facilitating. I've never seen it. I haven't seen it. I've seen several scrimmages for Originators. I haven't seen Jay Lassiter make now one pass. Not a one. I've seen him make a lot of jump shots, but I haven't seen him make a lot of passes. You know who I have seen make passes? Justin McGavin. I think he's going to help them a great deal on facilitating. I think we can just I think Jay Lassiter is going to be the shooter on the roof every freaking night for the Originators. You worry about him getting 4, 5, 6, 6. I don't think that's his job this season at all. All I've seen him do was shoot, and he's shooting mighty fine, might I add. So I'm not even here to even discredit that. But like I said, Lassiter has been doing a really good job. I'm sorry, not Lassiter. Justin McGavin has been doing a really good job of facilitating, and he's also can be a scorer. He's probably going to be the number 2, number 3 option depending on the particular night. But the fact that a guy can go from, hey, maybe this game I might be the facilitator, I might give my team 7 assists, and maybe the next game I might give them 17 points. I think that's really important. All right, for number 1, of course I have to show all respect to the winners, Beasts of the East of last season. They are my number 1 team going into the season. The X factor for me is Kyrie Brown. One thing that Beast of the East does need, and they lost with Fareed, and that's spot-up shooting. Now, Fareed was an all-world type of player, but they do need those shooters, and Kyrie Brown can shoot the lights out, baby. Kyrie Brown's their X factor. I think Kyrie Brown can be consistent this season, shooting 45% or better from 3. Beast of the East have a very good chance of going back to the race to 1. Now, I know what y'all saying. Queen City Kings, I ain't hear you. No, they not. Southeast Select, they was in the big dance 2 years in a row. So what? I know. What about the Heartland? What about them? I said what I said. It is what it is. Put it in the chat. Let's talk about it, or let's not. You know what it is. I'm back, baby. This is me all season, every day. See y'all tomorrow.